we are getting to now, we are really walking into a danger. I keep on saying it. You see it will happen. You'll be shocked.
Well, I think we're in the danger already. It's not that we are getting into the danger.
Oh, okay.
But when you look at the moves then, I mean, not just the 17th of this month as the NDC is thinking, but Labour massing up. Some have said we want to have a demonstration, 1 million people out there, bring the nation to a complete halt from all different regions and all of
that's the TUC or
the TUC, among others. I ask again, is that the solution to this Galamsey thing? Is that what will force the hand? You mentioned SNIT.
I'm glad.
What happened?
I am glad
right?
you said that.
But you think
if that,
in this case it will work? Looking at how deep this was, Brian Echampong, Rock City, one man and a few tentacles here and there. This is Galamsey across swathes of our country. Will this demonstration bring it to an end?
No. I believe strongly that TUC alone can turn this around.
Okay.
I'm telling you. But they recently demonstrated their might. And when a government fails to show leadership, that's the only thing left. As I talk to you now, what was the company in the US? I've forgotten their name right now. Boeing. Workers are on strike. Never in the history of the, I mean, the whole company is down. 33,000 people. I mean, at times, when things get to a certain stage and government fails to listen, then of course, what will happen will happen. And they should not take for granted what the TUC said. I'm telling you, I'm not a member, but I'm telling you that that can work us into a big problem. And when problem starts like that, it is difficult to bring it under control.
How do you think all of these things will impact coming elections? Because sometimes too, politicians speak and suggest that, you know, oh, as for the electorate, you know, when elections are approaching, some of them will even go ahead and say, just give them some local fuel and they'll be fine. Others will suggest that many voters are gullible, and so they can be influenced. And sometimes when some of us do shows or make presentations, you can tell from a few of the messages that come through that there are indeed such elements that will think of themselves rather than the general interest. But what do you think all of this means ahead of election 2020? Galamsey, corruption, which we'll get to shortly, among other issues. Do you think they will affect the elections? Do you think people are thinking through these things ahead of the vote? Or is it just another installment of MPP NDC? Maybe MPP NDC 8.0 or 9.0. That's it.
You see, in an interview I did not quite long ago, whether it was station or TV3, I can't recall it now, a similar question was asked. And I said, in civilized countries, we always know who wins an election, which party will win an election. Because people vote based on the performance of the government. You follow me? Yeah. So if we have all these difficulties and infractions around, and Ghanaians choose to vote for any of these parties, that is left to them. That is their choice. Mind you, that is when things have been done properly by the Electoral Commissioner.
Okay.
That is very important. Because if the Electoral Commissioner fails to do the right thing, I can predict a serious problem coming to this country. So if we have to look anywhere at all, it's the Electoral Commission we should look at. Because what that 30 came out with recently, I think yesterday or so, no, it's unacceptable. You can see straight that he's not a matured person. Or he knows nothing about man management. Otherwise he won't come and talk what he read there yesterday. You follow me? We have to be careful. I have been warning that if we want peace, this election really being successful will be based on the performance of the Electoral Commission.
So are you saying you would be surprised if the ruling administration won election 2024?
No, no. All I'm saying, look, when we were in opposition, I'm talking about MPP years ago, there were similar arguments. For example, in those days, there was no transparent box or anything. All these things were put in place. We demanded, and they were done. So if it's being demanded now, new developments have taken place, and the political parties, we want it this way, or do the investigation so that we see. What is the problem? Even in those days, Rawlings at that time was a paramilitary, what do you call, government. Yet they listen. So why can't the EC listen now? And the EC, who has made mistakes in previous elections, 5 times. So there's every likelihood that he can make mistake, or she can make mistake. So all you do is that they posted they want forensic auditing, open it for them, if you have nothing to hide. So the success of the coming election, if it will be successful, would depend on the Electoral Commission.
The onus lies on the Electoral
Absolutely, to me, yes. But if they do the right thing, there will be no problem in this country.
What is your forecast for election 2024 on the back of everything you know, as far as the presidential candidacy is concerned?
Well, my worry, honestly, is that we have this numerous...
There's Alan Chamartin.
Yeah, Alan Chamartin and all these people.
Now the CPP has its own candidate, the PNC, so Madam Kumankuma is in there, Bernard Mona is in there. Then you come to... There are so many candidates representing different parties. And then there is also, well, the NDC's John Dramani Mahama and the MPP's Dr. Mahmoud Baumia also in the fray.
That tells you one thing. A divided front can never win. All these groupings, if they are sincere, all of them, including Alan Chamartin, they should have come together as a third force. And that can bring a change.
Yes, but everybody wants to lead a
No, but that's why these are all opportunists.
All of them?
Absolutely. They have no interest of the country at heart. If they really want a change, the third force, all these numerous political parties and so-called presidential aspirants we see now, they should come together as a third force. And if they really have a weight and they are serious, definitely it will be a threat to both the NDC and the MPP.
So there's a lack of seriousness and selfishness.
Lack of seriousness.
And selfishness.
And selfishness, greed, and to an extent, avarice. I'm telling you, I know them. Because what we have on our hands now is a national issue. So if I were them, all we would have done is to get ourselves together, the various groups. Then look at them, they are more than 20. But because of greed, and people who are not serious, they are not serious. They don't think about the nation first. And until we get a government that will think about this nation first, this nation will never move forward. The nation first was during the time of Nkrumah. And this nation moved forward. After that, nothing.
Now that you're talking about greed, avarice, selfishness, and all of that, let's talk corruption. Recently, corruption.
Oh, corruption, yeah.
Yes. President Akufo-Addo has defended his record on corruption. Even at the latest Ghana Bar Association conference, he spoke about those who call him a clearing agent and that he would prefer to be a clearing agent than government official one, and that he would not, because of his detractors, fail to apply the rule of law and due process, as he calls it. But the fight against corruption started on day one of his administration, at least from what he had said. And all the indices show that, if anything at all, corruption is beating us rather than we beating corruption. But from where you sit, how has this administration fared on the front of corruption? Can it do any magic before election 2024?
Look, what Akufo-Addo said at the Bar Association, I think Kumasi, just about a couple of days ago, if you realize carefully, he spoke for himself. He never spoke for the country.
He said some people were saying he and his family were corrupt.
That's why I say he spoke for himself. He spoke for himself. Now, when there's something he was talking, addressing them later, he spoke for the family, for the nation. We want somebody who will speak for the nation. Akufo-Addo didn't speak for the... He started by talking about his past, as a lawyer and all this sort of thing. We don't need such talks now. We need talk that will let people know that you are the leader of the country. At the moment, a lot of people don't see us the leader of the country.
They don't?
Oh, I would not say it's a lame dog so far, no. But nobody says, because where is the direction of the whole nation? When a whole deputy minister of lands will come and talk or justify what is happening, that's the main thing that is worrying the country. One Duka, I don't even know him.
You mean Meko Duka?
Yes. You follow me? Will come and speak and justify certain things about this same Galamsey. Look, we have a problem. And the problem is so serious. Some of you are joking with it.
I asked another question, though, on the back of that. Can anything be done between now and election 2024 on corruption, for example? I mean, some say it takes a day and it takes some changes to start sanitizing a system. Between now and election 2024, we have a few months. Can the fight against corruption not be won, but start in earnest in this period?
No. What I will expect Akufo-Addo to do, if he will do anyway, is to appeal to his colleagues and ministers, those of them who have taken monies out of this country. You follow me? To bring the monies back. It has happened before in Saudi Arabia.
To bring the money back?
Absolutely.
And admits that they've dabbled in corruption?
Of course, yes. Admit and bring it back. And at least that will calm the tempers of people in this country.
Will that not rather make people say, we said it, and these are the people, and they are corrupt?
No, that's why I say if he can do it, if the leader, Akufo-Addo, can do that. But we've seen instances, one of his deputy ministers, later he removed him for youth and sports, who created a whole mess in Australia concerning visas. Look at the statement he made recently.
Pius Enam Hajide.
Such a person trying to get...
Taking people to,
exactly.
People to the US.
Look at his statement recently at a rally.
Some would say he's campaigning. That's what some people would say.
No, you see, such a person shouldn't get close even to the doors of Parliament House, let alone get into the chamber. You follow me? Yes. Look, we are really, really destroying this country, but people don't seem to see it. And it's going to happen if we are going the way we are now going.
I see.
Now, when it comes to corruption, I mean, you all know what is happening in this country. You all know what is happening in this country. Just yesterday, I'll give you an example. I went to the cargo side to pick a cousin of mine who passed on abroad. When I was coming out, an official, whether it's from customs or whatever, he was in uniform, but was asking me for money. For what?
Where was this?
Money, Kotoka International Airport. In fact, I brought my this thing down, my window down. I said, money for what? When he saw my face, then, sorry, sir, just yesterday. Just yesterday. Corruption has eaten into the fabric of this society. And it's not at the lowest level, it's from the top. It is from the top. That's why it is impossible to stop it. If a leader can stop it, the leader should be able to stop it from the top. Because that is the real citadel of the problem. Where we are now, promises have been made, including my own party, that we are going to stop corruption. Because we've been the worst. We've been the worst.
The MPP has been the worst in dealing with corruption.
Of course, but you know it. You see, you journalists at times now don't understand. You know it.
No, it's not about what we know. It's about asking the right questions for people like you to speak. It's not about what we know. When I come here, people are not looking to hear what I have to say. It is you they want to listen to.
When I listen to interviews and commentaries from other countries, journalists spearhead some of this. I've seen it. That's why I keep on saying that. You follow me? But without you, this nation can never move. But when some journalists, let me use the word carefully, some journalists are being fed by government financially, then of course, if you know that this country is in trouble, and if that is the style of other governments that will come, then we have no hope as far as corruption is concerned.
Let's talk about these calls for a debate. Still, people are saying, well, like in the US, Harris-Trump. I don't know whether you followed the recent one. It was pretty interesting, not as charged as maybe some others, though at a point Trump got upset and lost his cool. And then said that Haitians were, I shouldn't repeat that, in Springfield. But is it relevant at this time? The Ghanaian electorate, do voters care about what people have to say about all of these? Do the manifestos not suffice? What do you think?
No, I've commented on the manifestos. I don't know whether you were the person I spoke with. I doubt. That's about 2 weeks ago. The manifestos that are come to be trumpeted, and parties don't mean serious when they get power. It doesn't mean anything.
Manifestos don't mean anything.
You see, because we have manifestos. When we come to power, what do? Many a time, we do completely different things. So what are the manifestos for? All political parties behave the same way. You follow me? That's why I keep on saying that the only person we had in this country's leadership who went by his own program, 7-year development plan by Nkrumah, and he was pursuing it until he was removed, was the only person who gave us really progress. And that is 68 years ago. Look at China. Recently, I remember China recently, less than 40 years. Look at where they are today. The leadership. South Korea, leadership. I was listening some few minutes before you came in. The Chinese ambassador here, I think it was question concerning this Galamsey thing. I said, President Akufo-Addo accompanied him one time, officially, when Akufo-Addo was visiting China, he accompanied him. You follow me? And their president told our president that the Chinese here must respect the law. If they don't, the law should deal with them. Are they dealing with them?
In other words, if Xi Jinping is saying,
yes,
my citizens in your country, if they flout the law on illegal mining or small-scale mining or whatever form of mining, deal with them.
Deal with them.
And if we don't deal with them, then who calls them?
Yeah.